and the CDC Youth Chair. So we expected them here as we discuss the issues as we move up to elections. So listen and listen very well. We will have the discussion very much panned down, and there will be a greater result for all of us as a country. So let's have a great time together, Liberia. It's no time to waste. Tell somebody to listen to the radio right now. But guess what? I have just one of them already seated in studio. He's Onismos James. He comes from the CPP. He's a youth chair of the CPP. And of course, we are right here. We're going to talk the talk right here on this radio. There is no time to waste. Let's have a great time together. So don't bother. It will be okay. Very much okay. We're in a political season, so we give the platform to all of the political parties. This is their area. What we need here is just civility. Civility matters a lot for the management team here at ELBC Radio. We talk the truth, and we talk the truth for the real truth. So let me take this break and be right back. And after which we will welcome my guest on the platform this afternoon.
This is another classic love genre production. After way so fresh, so well on this one. Anything you do, we're gonna talk about you. Anything you do, appreciate the things you do. Anything you do, we're gonna talk about you. Anything you do. Let them go to Rocky. Let them go to Brandy.
99.9 is ELBC Radio and is the bumper show here this afternoon. My name is Melvin Stewart. Damawa Fofana is on the camera this afternoon. You are watching us on LNTV. She's responsible for that this afternoon across the globe. And our number will be placed on the page of the LNTV for those of you in the diaspora to interact with our guests this afternoon. Okay, at about this time, we had with us in studio Onismos James. He's the youth chair for the collaborating political parties, Liberty Party and ANC. Yes, the two. And that of Jimmy Awatobe. He is a secretary for youth affairs at the CBC and campaign team, especially so at the National Secretary General of the NPP Youth Council. The Pepper Bird. So we want to say, gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to ELBC this afternoon.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The pleasure being here. Let me say a very big thanks to the LBS family. To confess, I think there are little improvement at the Nation State Broadcasting System. And it is good to be here. I'm sorry the other day as well, I've been here. Had an issue with my mom, and that was an interesting show that I had on, I think, Tuesday night and overnight night. They had a TV show, but I've been here, but I followed the show. Anyway, it's good to be here, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to add our view as people who are representing 70% of our population from statistics that have been proven from the survey that the young people at least are between 65 to 70% from you young adult to first time voter and going down. So I think this is a very good opportunity for us to be here.
Okay, before I come to your colleague, who are you? Just introduce yourself to the public and where you come from, your political home, and yeah.
I'm Onesimus James. I come from the Liberty Party, chairperson of the Liberty Party, and then the framework document that bring the both parties together states that one of the parties should have the Youth Congress, and that's how I became the Youth Congress, the chairperson of the Youth Congress of the CPP, and then the women wing chair of the Alternative National Congress took on that position as the the women wing chair for the Women Congress of the CPP. So it is a process that we work together to make sure that the two parties voices are heard on the national scene through proper representation as youth chairperson and the women chairperson. So I'm from the Liberty Party, the youth chair
Of the late
Liberty
Councillor
Party.
Bromskin. Okay.
Definitely, that at times when I was coming here and I heard about the issue of violence and looking at the name Councillor Bromskin, the champion for the rule of law, the man who had championed peace and democracy in our country. But we will go there a
Okay.
little.
Okay, let me speak with Jimmy Toby. Jimmy, good afternoon, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Just talk about yourself.
Good. Okay, my name is Jimmy Naratobe, and I'm the National Youth Secretary General of the National Patriotic Party, Youth Council. I'm also the Secretary for Youth Affairs at the Coalition for Democratic Change. Let me say good afternoon to the peace-loving people of the Republic of Liberia. Let me say good afternoon to the pimp and rallo, the motorcyclists, our mothers in the market. And let me say good afternoon to the best president ever in the Republic of Liberia, President Dr. George Manawia. And let me say good afternoon to the vice president. And also let me say good afternoon to all of our partisans and people out there, also to the LBS family. This is almost like my third appearance here. And the last time that I go through myself, we have every time I come to the studio, I see a lot of improvement. You see the AC, so it's a good thing to
This
be
is the
here.
national broadcaster.
Yeah, we understand. We understand. It's a good thing to be here on the radio and giving us the opportunity for our voice to be here. Let me say also to my Korean friend in studio. After even though you don't speak to me, come here, good afternoon.
Please, and I want to have a frank discussion here. You people have a very good handshake here because you are on live. You are live on LNTV.
No, besides that, we are brothers. Not just brothers per month, but we are very brothers. Who come from a family.
Indeed.
Yeah,
But when I saw him coming in the studio, I said, "But why Maya didn't come? They had to send me."
Imaya didn't come to join you?
Yeah. If Maya didn't come and they sent him, yes, so he's my younger brother, and so I will have to take time with him.
No, but
No,
it's not gonna do it. You understand that?
The wisdom belongs to the older one.
that's a wonderful time.
Yeah.
Okay, gentlemen, I'd like to really appreciate you people this afternoon. We're still expecting the representative from the Unity Party of Ambassador Joseph Yoman Boakai. So let me start with Toby. You from the CDC angle, especially so the NPP of former President Charles Taylor. How do you see the upcoming elections and with your collaboration with the CDC? How is it?
Okay, let me say, the CDC is very peaceful, and it has been peaceful from the day the CDC was formed. Speaking of the elections, I will be very clear and tell you that this will be one of the most peaceful, free, fair, and transparent elections in the Republic of Liberia. But the fact that a man who holds the global authority in this country right now, President George Manawia, he's a peaceful individual, and the records are there. Histories are there. Even the 2 times he contested before he even won 2017, you saw how peaceful he was. Even when things went by on his side, even when people saw that the process was not transparent, he told his supporters, he told citizens to remain calm, to remain peaceful. So peace has been the hallmark of the day-to-day activities of the Coalition for Democratic Change CDC. So I can assure you that this election will be free, fair, and peaceful. And we have a better Liberia come 2023, October 10th. You will see that after the election, my brother Lucas James will be shaking hands with me, will be hugging. After we have won the election, and you will see that our country
What is
will
the
come back.
pedigree? What is your pedigree that you are basing on that Onismo will be shaking your hands
Yeah,
for?
because actually when it comes to electoral process, there are methodologies that you have put
Do you
in
hold
place.
them?
Yes, exactly. So the CDC we are like
Just go a bit.
administration.
Just go a bit from the microphone.
Yeah,
We're getting a popping sound. Yeah,
yeah.
the mics here are very
We talk
sensitive.
about there are methodologies
Okay.
that go towards having a peaceful, free, fair, and transparent elections.
Mm.
And the CDC being a peaceful party, we have also started for the past even 6 months before we even come closer to this election process. We have been using that methodologies across the country, even with our the opposition political party. We say that there is one Liberia, there is one nation, and Liberia is above all. Liberia first, Liberia life. We may go through electoral process today, but we all have a common denominator, which is Liberia, and we all know where our country came from and where we have been and where we are heading to. So we cannot afford to go back to the dark days. So you see, this is the reason why the Coalition for Democratic Change have been preaching the message of peace. We have been having civil education. And I would want to go in details. I know we'll further discuss
Sure.
on the
Sure.
methodology.
Okay, let me
Well, I
go.
can show
Let me
you.
let me go to Onismo. Onismo, and you heard your colleague. You consider him as a brother, or he's on another political mat, and you are on another mat. What can you say as we approach of democratically expected elections?
Oh yeah, I think our process of conversation today is centered around non-violence.
Okay.
What our message can be to the young people,
Mm.
how we can coexist.
Mm.
It's just that before looking at, I always like to look at the symptoms of problem before solving problem. I tell people that our country most of the time does not look at the symptoms. Before you have malaria, there will be some chills in your body, there will be some feverish and other stuff that will make you know that malaria is coming. And based upon that, we want to go back to the historicity of the MPP and the CDC. We are hoping that because of time is changing, that we are now seeing that a little civilization is coming to them,
To whom?
to the CDC and the MPP.
What kind of civilization are you talking
The
about?
civilizations we are talking about, because you see, they got stages. We'll talk about the stages of the deontologies, the deontology heuristics that it's a process where people, when you are the leader, just the leader, you say, okay, let's go. There will be no why, when, how, those questions, there will be no process of asking questions. But since 2005, up to where we are, the young people, the generation is changing. That's why you see when they talk about the violence, the issue of people beating people, because it has been a history within the CDC that their youth wing has been, in terms of violence. Going far back after the former youth chairs of the CDC, the violence of Imaria who was beaten at the party headquarters.
These are things that happen. Excuse me, sir, Onismo. These are things that happen.
I want to lay the premise, and then tell them
Listen,
that where we are.
listen,
I said to you that
these are things that happen. Are you aware of primitive? Are you aware of primitive writing history? Those ancient days history.
Yes,
and these are things that happen because if you are not matured at a certain level of time, and you have got matured, and so we have to take this into consideration.
Right?
So I just want you to tell us your mission here. You're talking about peace.
That's why I'm telling you. That when
the ANC and that of the Labour Party, you preaching this peace. So we want to hear from you, sir.
I want to go to the historicity of the both party. And I said to you,
do you have a
little civilization is coming to them?
Little.
A little.
So where is your stand as a political party? Have you have you grown as a civilized political party?
The Liberty Party and the ANC
have you grown?
Has no record of violence whatsoever in this country.
You think so?
Definitely. After the election of 2017, Councillor Child Walker Bromskin, the man who the fountain we drink from, took the election commission to court. Even the government, the present government, awarded him, the champion of peace in the rule of law. Councillor Bronski, with the capacity, he was allowed young people to go on the street. People were grieving because the election, as you may know, the Supreme Court said there were flaws, but the flaw was not, maximum to the extent that
They were not genuine.
They were not genuine.
Yeah.
So, but now there is a man who said, "Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere." But that's another discussion for another day. So I will tell you that I want to say they are getting a little mature, and we're going to get in that dark. But now,
So what percentage? What
if we
percentage
go
you're
back
speaking
to
of?
their history, we are hoping that those
2005, the CDC came into being, and the CDC has
you
become.
want me to discuss them?
No, we're not discussing it. We're not discussing it. We're not discussing it. You have come here to preach a message of peace for your supporters, right?
So I'm saying to you, no, let's get the record straight, right? What is not done properly is not done. Let the Liberian people know that Liberty Party, in collaboration with the ANC, we are the champion.
How will you say you are peaceful when you come from the anchor of the Liberty Party, where you had this thing about this thing hanging above you about the framework document? No, it was all around the place here. Everybody discusses thing over, including you go to ghettos, you hear people talking about the framework document. What is happening?
Internal conflict. And you're talking about national conflict.
Eternal
conflict.
and national is a thing because these are national parties.
It's not a thing.
These are political parties. Are you aware, sir? Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
I'm the custodian of this show. So if I'm asking you, please, I want you to please let's set the budget.
Yeah.
Let's leave everything aside. And I'll give you a chance to explain.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you are speaking of the CDC, this current regime, being in this violent act, quote unquote, from you, not me. I'm a typical Liberian, I'm a patriotic Liberian, I have my voting right.
Yeah.
But listen, if you are speaking in this direction, what can you say now concerning the framework document that was being changed? According to you people from from the Liberty Party and all of the ANC, the Unity Party and the ANC. And there were noise all around the country. Are you?
No.
Why are you trying to portray?
Let me say to you now. You asked me a question, taking the time to respond to that.
Okay, please go ahead.
You talk about the framework document. There was internal wrangling. And people say the framework document was tempered, right?
Who said?
Some of the
ANC, Liberty Party, or Unity Party?
There was Unity Party and ALP.
ALP
said that Mr. Cummings tampered with the framework document. With that, we remain peaceful. Unlike the CDC, do you remember when you asked a question? Do you remember when the former chair of the CDC, Horatio Gould, was whipped at Bentor? Do you remember when issues arises in a political party, the way you handle the process make you mature? And so, if that issue of framework document was on the other side of our brothers, right? Was on the other side of our brother, you will definitely find it's going to be chaotic. But we are saying to you, you saw how peaceful we handled the issue. The issue went to court, and we handled it peaceful in an amicable manner, and they were resolved. So, if we talk about peace and the youthful components of this country, you will point out to the Liberty Party, you will point out to the ANC. We are asking our brother on the other side to follow our example, our good example, as patriots, as young people who see vision. Now, let me tell you, when I came to the country from other school, I was one person who talked to then Comrade Baron Brown, then was the chair of the CPB
the late Baron Brown?
No. Baron Brown. He was now the CPB brigade, I call it one brigade they had for the CPP. And I saw them portraying that issues of militarism. And so I came out and said that there was a need for us to demilitarize the young people. You know, sometimes when I see the CDCians wearing the beret.
Is that a crime?
No, The bearer has a history.
Have you not been wearing your Liberty Party brigade?
The bearer has a historicity. And of redemption, of struggle, of people fighting for.
But you talk about redemption, many people are trying to redeem.
Listen, let's go back to CDC history. CDC.
Okay, I'll come back to you, sir. Let me hold you there. You will come in. Okay. Jimmy Toby, you're listening to your colleague, and we're still expecting the representative from the Unity Party of Ambassador Joseph Yoma Boakai. I'm thinking as to whether he will come or she will come. Because this
is actually
okay here, right? Yeah. So we expected them, and if they come in, yeah, that will be good. If they can't come in, I will still give them the audience. If they can call me on my number or they call us on the station's number, we will still have that discussion on. Okay, let me ask you this question. You just heard your colleague, and he spoke about uncivility on the part of the CDC. How can you address yourself to this?
So you see, it's laughable on a serious note. And the comment coming from my brother and friend talking about the NPP and the CDC is not civilized. They just getting mature. It's something that is far from the fact. And he himself know that. Except when he tried to tell me that maybe he don't have the issue of what we can discuss, and maybe you don't have monopoly or the issue and you want to go and then we attack each other. But we're not here for that.
But
my brother and friend know very well that the CDC is the number one mature political party in the Republic of Liberia. For the fact that how can you talk about maturity when the CPP cannot even hold together? You know that. You know the history. You came together as a collaborating political party. You couldn't hold together for even good 3 years in the country. And the CDC, we started from 3 political parties. Now we have 9 constituent political parties. It's out of maturity that we have maintained those political parties. It's out of maturity that you see that we have come together as a group. There is no day where you heard in the public that the CDC framework has been tempered. What? There is no day you heard that parties from the CDC is going to court. All this is out of maturity, it's out of uncivilization. And
so you're trying to debunk his
definitely. He's not that. He's aware.
Are you aware? Are you hearing this, sir? Are you hearing it?
Like I said, I don't think we have time to discuss.
It's not about So it's about a peace message.
Yes, it's about the peace message. So I just try to checkmate him, bring him to his senses that look, you cannot refer to the CDC as a party that just getting to be mature. You tell that thing that even a 12-year student will laugh at you. And the comment is right. He spoke, you see our barracks. Yeah. The barracks have intimidation to them. It shows that we are redeeming this nation for the 12 years of struggle on that redeemed. Okay, so I think yourself, you saw he was giving the definition on the barracks. So like he even buttressing our argument. He's
saying that we shouldn't use the barracks. No, it's a reflection of the old days.
No, what he says, what he's trying to say is that indeed the barracks show a sign of liberation. It shows a sign of redemption. So we are redeeming the Liberian people out of poverty. We are liberating.
Is there a contradiction from your end? Is that a complete contradiction from him? Excuse me, excuse me, sir. Policeman, I will come to you. Your colleague is in flight.
Policeman, we had the conversation. I was not thinking about going that route, but since he brought the issue, and let me discuss it, okay? You want to talk about maturity, you want to talk about civilization, and then you even had the audacity to even reference the name of the NPP, one of the matter of fact, the most grassroots political party in the Republic of Liberia, a political party that has run this state, that held this state over the years, even when we came from war, and then you want to talk about civilization. So I think my brother was just trying to put himself together, get himself in the mood to have the discussion. But I don't think what he said really came from his mind.
Okay,
let me say this. Okay. Let me say this. We talk about the stability in the CPP. Yeah. CPP have been destabilized. You know that. And that's why you see all the breakaway came about. You had the Liberty Party faction divided into 2. You want to talk about violence? There is history of violence within the CPP. You even at the party headquarters in Grand Pastor, he's aware they broke that party headquarters down recently over the past years. There was serious riot, chaos going on there. And then you want to talk about violence? So we don't want to go that right. We don't, like I said,
what are we preaching?
Yeah,
are we preaching peace?
We come to the peace. You know what? We setting the basis.
Let's set the basis.
You setting the basis. the CDC is being on record for being peaceful. For the fact that you saw that even in 2005 you mentioned, you saw that CDC won election in this country. We all saw it. But because President Weah was standing bearer at the time, he was a peaceful individual. He's the icon of peace. He is the peaceful individual.
Okay.
Matter of fact, he's the beacon of hope. You know that when it comes to peace, it was based on that background that even the former President Eddie Johnson said he even appointed him as peace ambassador. Because he told his citizens, he told his people, look, let's remain calm. Let's pull our people first. And then you come in the studio and telling us that our CDC is violent, CDC is being violent. It's laughable. But like I said, let me discuss the issue. Let's preach the peace message.
Okay.
Let us not just dwell on the past because
the past will not help.
There are those years of record that show the violence of the CPP, of the Unity Party.
And
the same CPP, the Unity Party,
and the CPP just came into being anyway. So we can account for more violence of the CPP anyway. Yeah, but we can account of the CPP anyway.
You are a former member of the
policeman. You don't put your finger. Excuse me, you are on camera. People are watching you across the world. Don't just put your finger down, please. Yeah. Let's be very peaceful and yeah.
James Aratobe.
No, my name is Jimmy Aratobe.
James Aratobe is a former member of the Liberal.
And that's what that particular land. So
can you show us evidence like the former member?
I will leave it out. So many. I know this brother for years, right? But it is
knowing somebody doesn't mean that they are a member of a political party or they were.
No record with the Liberty Party. I have no links with the Liberty Party.
Okay. Onismus. So let's hear Onismus.
So
that could, yeah.
Like you said, we came here to talk about peace.
Talk about peace.
We want peace. We will maintain the peace. But we are the one in the history of Liberia, the Liberty Party. There is no way 2005 Councillor Bronskin was cheated. Survey in Madam Sally's book that she wrote, that it was clear that international survey pointed out that Councillor Bronskin was going to be the next president. And she said in her book, chapter 55 of that book, that
what is the name of the book? What is the title of the book?
This child will be great.
This child will be great.
Chapter 55 of that book.
It was being directed strictly to the former or the late Bronskin.
Yes, she was discussing the campaign of 2005.
2005.
And she said, I still captured that page 55 of that book.
This child will be great.
This child will be great. Look there.
And who was that child? Is it not President Sully? I mean, is it not President Weah? Is it not President Weah? Are you aware that President Taylor, our former president, said President George Weah was going to become a president of this nation?
How can you differentiate?
I'm just saying something because listen, we found the history now.
You talking about President Weah?
We just following the history, Chief. We just following the history.
I'm telling you how
so what about the revolution I'm gonna do when she said there will be a young president?
Let me tell you what our father done.
Go ahead. You are right.
In 2005, Councillor Bronskin in this country, all survey proof, including the testimony I'm giving you with Madam Sally's book that she wrote. This child will be great. In 55, the 55th chapter of that book, she said all of the international survey pointed to Councillor Child Walker Bronskin as the next president. But what happened in between will be told in history, right? After that election,
you think the president, the book president,
what happened?
I'm concerned. Injection. You think the book Madam Salif wrote was directly for Charles Walker Bronskin?
She was giving scenario to her presidency. How she became president, where she came
from. So who was that child specifically?
Madam Salif.
Who was that child she was speaking about?
About herself. How she began that child that was great.
Now we get it straight. Yeah. So let's go. Now,
so she was talking about that. And then she tried to catalog some of the instances, the struggle she went through. And then she keeps in her book, I'm telling you the chapter, the 55, that chapter, she said that what happened in history will be told.
Will be repeated in history.
No, she said what happened that he never won that election will be told. And after that election in 2005, Councillor Bronskin was very peaceful. In 2011, he went to the election. There were irregularity. He was still peaceful. In 2017, the Liberian people saw the kind of campaign with.
Are you aware that he was not too popular?
He was popular. He was popular.
You were just preaching law around here.
It's not law, you see. You can't be a partisan journalist.
No, this is not partisan journalist.
But you can't tell.
This is a question I'm throwing to you. You don't claim me as a partisan journalist. Do you know where I come from in my political background?
How can you say he was?
I can say President Weah was not popular, but he won the election by the grace of God, right? I can say President Selig was not popular, but she won the election by the grace of God. He was pleading. He's a lawyer. He was a lawyer. I'm now a partisan journalist. I'm pleading for the good of Liberia.
He was not preaching law. He was giving his.
So he's shown the cases away.
Cases. He was giving a platform. And Councillor Broskin has one of the best platforms.
Let's talk about
back the peace.
Let's go.
You are the one that trying to just interpret it.
Yeah. So I want to hear something from you.
Yeah. So I'm saying to you that history has proven our record as Liberty Party. If you ask a little child in the community, when you say peace, you say Liberty Party ANC. There's nowhere in the history of Liberia. Since even 2017, Mr. Cummings came to Liberia. After the election, you don't heard a single violence anywhere. You have not heard citizens being beaten at our party headquarters. We are saying to our colleagues, like I said on the initial stage of the conversation, agree them. There are little civilizations that are coming to the CDC. That is why you see that there is no more Sabo. The Sabo, you know what they have in the backyard of their
school? Just hold on.
Or what are they now? These are things we must de-traumatize our young people. Now, don't forget to know that this country went to war. There were people who watched the war scenario and want to to represent them into the picture. So we as young people, like Jimmy, like Emmanuel, like C4s and other, we sit together, we should be the one to carry the peace message. I'm looking forward to where the National Election Commissions or even the LBS or the political parties can get all of us on a platform where we can go into the community.
So as we speak, Steve,
talk about peace.
How many parties see your collaboration now?
Two.
What are they?
ANC, the National Congress.
And what is the strength? What is the strength?
We can turn.
Quite recently, you endorsed your vice president. Your vice president
is one of the best.
How popular is that vice presidential candidate?
You bring another one, we'll dive into it. You want to our vice president. It's not. You see, popularity. It has a positive and negative. You can be popular for the good, and you can be popular for the bad. Our vice president candidate is one of the best.
One of the best. Okay, I hold you right there. I hold you right there. Okay, Jimmy.
Thank you.
We are talking about this upcoming elections and the elections I read by us. And as young people, you are a very young man. And what do you envisage coming from the angle of the CDC, the NPP, and other?
So before I get coming, let me just say, Emmanuel Johnson, who's the coalition chairperson, is also being.
But you get yes, yeah.
So he should have been here today, but due to some serious engagement and tight schedule, and I'm deputing him, so that's the reason why you see me here today. Before I can even come to that, first of all, let's be honest. When we are talking about peace, when we are having the kind of discussion, the kind of conversation, we need to be sincere to ourselves, and we need to be sincere to our country. Because whatever you say out there, people are listening to you. We have the audience that are listening to us. Okay, this is just an advice to my brother. Okay, because if you see this thing, we know we don't. We are from the CDC. We don't just come and give rhetorics. We don't give rhetoric. That's the reason why you see we come on the table, come with timetables, we come with facts, we come with evidence. Okay, and the records are there. And like I said in my introduction, look, if you want to discuss peace in a Republic of Liberia, in the world, President Weah will be number one. Not only Liberia, but even beyond Liberia. You want to talk about peace? He's the icon of peace. And then you call him, may his soul rest in peace. You call him the late Councillor Bronskin here. Why you can't even mention your standard bearer name in the first place? So that's tell you that. That's tell you that. That's tell you that. No. That's tell you that indeed that President Weah is the honor of the day when it comes to peace.
do you feel somehow bitter? Do you feel somehow frustrated that Onismo is not calling the name of his standard bearer?
No, because it's not surprising.
It is right.
It does it at his wish. His standard bearer, he's understand that his standard bearer have nothing to contribute to this entire nation. He's know that. And that's the reason why he know that they are not going anywhere in the election. That's the reason why he don't want to mention his name too much. So that's the reason why you see him still doing on the past, calling the late council name. But let's fast forward. Let's go to the issue. We don't have the lawsuit.
Who is that standard bearer of him that you know?
I don't know that he called his standard bearer name. I know Pastor George Manley, we have to be the standard bearer to put it to a Democratic.
Do you know any other standard bearer?
I don't. Like I said, the Liberty Party is divided. He mentioned it from the other, the CPP. Because if you go, let me tell you. On the other hand, you will see the Liberty Party having the on the other side with Waka, on the other side with. So we don't even know where side the Liberty Party is. So like I said, let me go to the issue. He will not take my time.
No, I won't take your time.
We have minimum time to discuss about
yes,
peace,
yeah,
to preach the peace out there to the young people. And this is why the CDC have been doing over the past 6 months, even before prior to this election. Preaching the peace is our day-to-day activities. Even if you go at the CDC party headquarters today, you will see young people with mark and preaching peace. That the election should be free, fair, and peaceful. We are in the communities, we are in the districts, we are in the counties, and preaching the message of peace. Because where there is peace, there is unity, there is prosperity, there is growth. You cannot achieve anything out of peace. If you don't have peace, you cannot achieve anything in a nation. So we are saying that we are envisioning a very peaceful elections. I understand the other guys. People will think that okay, there are some information, some misfallacy or misinformation going to go one that you will see our brothers will be saying, oh, because we are in ruling party. And you listening to Arizona B. Cummings and when
who is he? You don't know him. Who is he? You know the standard bearer of this man. So you just announce him as the standard bearer.
No, I didn't announce him as a standard bearer. I said you listening to Arizona.
But you know him?
No, listening to me.
Do you know Arizona Cummings?
I listen.
Do you know him?
Of course, I want you
to be serious. Don't be this ingenious here.
Okay,
do you know him?
I know him.
Do you know him?
I know him.
You know it to be whom?
I know him to be Arizona coming from the CPP.
From the CPP.
What does he do?
You see, now he's saying there.
I know. I was giving you. Let me go to the issues. You are trying all the long way.
So like just on 45 seconds. I gotta go. Because we gotta open the telephone line.
This is not the time. We are saying to our people out there, especially the youth, we are continuing to appeal to the conscience of the mind of the youth that look, no matter what, let us exercise peace. Let peace be the order of the day. In our day-to-day activities, I will go through the electionary process period. Okay, no matter what, let's accept the result. Liberia come first, and there is no work like home. There is no country like Liberia, like your own country. So we are not going to do anything that will undermine our peace, no matter what our brothers from across the road, no matter what they say, no matter what kind of message. We understand that they are already started preaching, message that have the propensity to undermine the peace. You heard it. You saw it for yourself. We are saying that, look, because the first time you can't be going through a process, then you have a preconceived mind that, look, the people already planning the process.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
We are saying that, we will get to you.
I said to you,
we will, let's hear Onismo.
We should look at the symptoms of problem. When you want peace, there are issues that bring about peace. And I don't think that the CDC government, we are going out there talking to the young people to be very careful, be mindful. But there are issues that raises violence that we will talk to. The issues of drugs in our country can cause young people to go violent. Do you know that? We are also asking the CDC government.
When did you realize? I will hold you right there. You were coming, you were preparing. But when did you realize that drugs were coming in the country?
We know.
Is this that an always problem?
No, when you take power as a government, the reason you take power for another government is to solve a prevailing situation. You cannot say yesterday, okay, why did you take the studio from that building to this building.
Did Madam Sally put stop to the infiltration of drugs in this country? Yeah, I'm coming up because now, listen, we have to get something straight. Listen, we are all Liberians. Let's get something straight. Excuse me, sir. Because if you are speaking this way, then maybe you are trying to put the blame on certain kind of persons that they are the ones responsible.
He even tried to bring about discrimination.
So what is it? So who's responsible? Who's responsible for the influx of drugs in this country? Who's responsible? This government? What about the past government? What about the time of Charles Taylor?
Past government. So we are talking about this government who is in charge. I know there is a difference between public administration and public sector management. When you have that differences as a public administrator or a public
is this a campaign message?
Now I'm telling you,
no people have.
I'm telling you, I was turn a barrel.
Who is it? People want to hear you again.
The stand barrel of the CPP is Mr. Alexander B. Cummings. And Mr. Cummings have said to the Liberian people over and over that for us to move forward as a nation, we must first of all stop those things that involve the young people in the violence. What is number one issue that is suffocating the young people and their well-being? You know, you go on the social media, you got a lot of things that's happening. We are saying that we are asking the city government to put into place mechanisms that will reduce.
Have you been able as a political party?
Another thing, number two. Unemployment is another thing that causes violence. When you see young people are not employed, when they wake up in the morning and have nothing to do, their anger in their spirit, these are things that create violence.
Do you see that?
What it speaks, I see that more often. It's glaring.
What are you doing? You went abroad. You study. What are you doing as a patriotic son of this country?
They got nothing to do. They got nothing to contribute to.
Are you able to contribute to the employment of some other young people in your community?
Definitely.
Have you been able to do that?
So let me give you my record. Maybe you don't know. I've been the president for the Federation of Prince Youth.
I think we need to discuss.
Oh no, man.
Okay, you know what we do? Excuse me, sir. You know what we do? Excuse me, sir. No, there's similar questions I'm giving you. I gave them to Jimmy.
You are answering the question. You go the question.
Because you are talking about unemployment.
I'm talking about you reaching no, my brother. I'm talking about there are issues.
How can we maintain the peace? How can we maintain the peace?
I'm asking them. I'm asking the city government.
Okay.
To improve. I know it's very late. I know they will soon be exiting.
No, it's not improving.
But the issue of drugs, the issue of unemployment, young people wake up with the money, no direction. There's nothing to do. There's nothing for home. You cannot leave your home and go back in peace. Those are things. But we are also saying that the hope of the young people, the hope of this generation, the hope of the generation to come is with the CPP. And we are saying that Mr. Alexander B. Cummings is waiting and prepared to provide that direction.
Okay, let me hold you guys there and we interact with the public because at 5 o'clock another program comes on. I really wish to have had you people for 2 hours.
So the time is very short.
So
you're not treating me fair.
No, Jimmy. You know. So okay, let me go to the telephone line 080514096. 080514096. Let's talk to a few calls. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How you doing?
The fine man, I come from the English response to you and the PRO for the theory of the cinema tour.
Let's hear you.
Yes, the issue. Yes, they're saying the secretary share like each other. Secretary is one of the party that lost 7K and told that people are the child won't like eat the money. But if they want to take one money, it's hard. Take the people want to eat it. No, the people are not stupid. Come here. So when let me say to my community where I live, if they think we are the one that brings electricity in my community, system of 12, 2 factory, 3 factory, we say customer, and I benefited from the free tuition, and I benefited from the free water. Can I have a no? Come here.
Thank you. Too long. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, quickly.
Yeah. I'm here also to grab you from the comments of using the comments of land using language for the re-election of President Tia 2023, and I serve as the national.
Please go ahead. Go to the point. We don't have time.
I know we don't have time, but let me just flash out on the togetherness and peaceful being CDC being peaceful. So those other comments from the studio, they're saying that we are not peaceful. They are very, 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 very wrong.
Okay, thank you. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you. My name is Andrew Moses, and I joined the conversation from District Tech Team. Let me appreciate all of your studio guests for responding to the declaration. But I'm struggling to understand my brothers from the opposition. You know, as we are about to kickstart canvassing processes on Saturday, I'm fully aware that this guy does not have any argument.
Okay, they don't have argument. Thank you. Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Well, my name is Prince Famula, and I call from Kings Juba.
Quickly.
Well, let's go to the point strictly. Let me say to the guy that put from the ANC, you know, those guys lack the morality to say,
Okay, you said it. Thank you. Hello.
Yeah, I'm doing my funny calling for the intellectual viewer and market program for democracy. I can say to for the other side, like, Ottawa King will show the director, and that director will be for us to go for the we are saying game.
Okay, we are. Thank you. We are will go again. What you said. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, this is my state camera calling from two community member of the Intellectual Alliance of Africa.
Go ahead, Marissa.
Yeah, let me appreciate my comrade for the CDC angle for your narrative this afternoon. Comrade, trust me, President, we will be re-elected. Because the opposition are not serious president, we are going back because the opposition, they are all tapulas and
excuse me, thank you. 080514096. Response James comes from the CPP. He's a youth chair. They are right here. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Thank you, Melvin Stewart. My name is David Gallagher. We say I am phoning from the headquarters of the CDC of the Bagube Avenue in Toho community. And let me say thank you for the comment that ably represented the CDC. You know, it is very much unfortunate and pathetic for somebody from the ANC to come on a public platform like this and say they are the
that's the man's right. Excuse me, David. That's the man's right. Excuse me. That's the man's right. This is a national platform. It's for every political party.
I'm giving an opinion of Melvin Stewart. You gotta allow me to learn.
Okay, you learn that?
I'm not learning when you cut off, so gotta let me learn quickly.
Go ahead.
The ANC were the one was the one that divided the collaborating political party. So we can't have a single law to be a leader of this country. Thank you for affording me the opportunity.
No. This is you see.
It's unacceptable.
Will show. Excuse me. I control the show. Excuse me, sir. I control the show. David Gallagher, you will have to call back and apologize for your statement. That statement you made on this national platform has gone across the globe. You will have to call back and apologize, or else it will not mean well for you as a young man. That's bad. That's bad. You don't have clue for what you said, David. It's so sad of you. Hello. How you doing? Good afternoon, caller.
Thank you. This is the voice of Lawrence Square. I'm the first step of operation. This is when you the CDC chapter must country.
Let's hear you quickly.
Thank you. Let me appreciate your speaker guest. Thank you for your discussion. But let us be clear, right? Let us be clear. The brothers from the opposition, they are not speaking with sincerity. I think they are speaking because they have a chance to state it on a mark and express themselves. But let me tell you, if we are looking for a definition of peace and unity, you do not have to go on Google what is peace. Just bring the English of President we are in the CDC before you.
Thank you.
That's what we said.
Thank you. We don't have time.
That's what I said.
We can just hear quickly, just 30 seconds or 45 seconds each. Then we just wrap it up because the people from the legislature are here. Okay, starting from you.
Because he don't want to kick the ball, start the ball.
No, he started it, so you
Okay,
have
thank you. You see, like I said, we should be sincere to ourselves. We should be true to ourselves, and we should be true to our country. Like I said, you listen to all the call of President George that the man we have remain the beacon of hope and remain a symbol of peace. It's not only in Liberia but beyond the continent of Africa. So when you're speaking of peace, you mentioned the name that the George Manuia. Um, like we go back, like we said, even though my comrade left the issue that we can discuss, and which is the peace message, and that's what I told you. I say CDC preaching the message of peace is our day-to-day activities, and that's the reason why you see we have been together as a political party for over 5 to 6, 7, 8 years. We going now. We have never had breakaway or separation before in our collaboration. Unlike the CPP. Unlike the CPP, we saw the records are all here where you see they are breaking away and they are confusion and unity. So to conclusively conclude, I'm saying to all the young people out there, come October 10, we should be peaceful. We should, whatever result that come our way, we should always understand that Liberia come first, Liberia last. There is nowhere like home.
Thank you. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy. Let me hear you. Go ahead, Chief.
Brother, I think it's very clear. We came here, we said the basics.
Yeah.
You see, I don't know what are only the cities that can enforce trash card call in this country.
Please go ahead.
Because they are the only people who decided to call. Maybe they have the number.
Please go ahead.
The next thing is, we can tell you for sure that we are the background of hope. A new day for the Liberian people. The young people are trooping into the CPP, and we will give Liberian the hope they deserve. And Mr. Cummings is the next president. It's no problem.
Thank you so much.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. Don't hold me in contempt, man. Don't hold me. Don't get me to the Supreme Court. I don't have red shoes to wear. Sorry. Thank you so much. That's all the time I had on the Bob Ross Show. I've been having with me in studio Onismos James from the CPP Youth Chair Liberty Party that combines with the Alternative National Congress. Thank you so much. Jimmy Aratobe is the Secretary General of Youth Affairs at the CDC and Campaign National Secretary General for the NPP Youth Council. That's all the time. Join us on Monday at 4 p.m. when Jala Griffith sits in here for another splendid presentation of the Bumper Show. Until then, my name is Melvin Stewart. Have a wonderful day and thanks to Damawa Fofana, who has been